The other big game was one of the big games was the Rams hosting the San Francisco 49ers. And the Rams could have sewn up. They still ended up winning the NFC West because Arizona also lost. But they now, Rob, are 0-2 against the 49ers, who made the playoffs themselves. And my goodness, I wouldn't want to play them. They got Dallas. And
I'm with you. You.
Yeah, they San Francisco is legit. But they beat the Rams. They beat them 31-10 a couple months ago.
You remember that. That was when the 49ers had lost, Chris, 8 straight home games. Remember that? We had talked about Shanahan and what was going wrong there, and they had lost 8 straight home games dating back to last season.
Right.
And they destroyed the Rams, pushed them around, physical against them. I think Stafford had a pick 6 and another interception in that game.
That was during this string of 3 straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Of having the pick 6s. And yesterday, they were in control of that game, the Rams, Chris, the first half. That game was over.
Yep. They were up 17-0.
It's over. Game's over. And, and then all of a sudden, the 49ers just start taking the game off. Then all of a sudden, it was all 49ers in the second half. It was shocking. And then we did see Stafford with a couple of picks. Again, he's been a turnover machine, Chris, right? The last third of the season, just picks, fumbles. He just taking care of the football. And Sean McVay has not been able to fix the 49ers or cure the 49ers. They own him. And Sean McVay had an impressive streak. What was he, 45-0 when they led at the
halftime? Yep.
45-0. Never gave up a lead. Never gave up a game, I should say. After the half, 45-0. And guess what? The 49ers snapped that streak.
And you for one, are not surprised it ended with Matt Stafford as the quarterback.
No, throwing a interception to end the game. Chris, and I've said this. Didn't I say I've said this? Because people think I say he's a bum. Have I ever said he was a bum?
No.
Nope. What I said is
he's kind of overrated, basically.
Right. That yes, he puts up numbers. He has Hall of Fame stats. If you were to cover up his
no way he's a Hall of Famer.
No,
right now.
But I'm just saying the stats.
But I've heard people, respected NFL people, Rob, say he's a Hall of Famer.
Chris, well,
and I'm
what?
Like, okay, we'll see what he does with the Rams. Maybe win a Super Bowl or two.
Right.
Yeah, but not right now. There's no way he's a Hall of Famer right now.
100%. So my biggest contention is everybody in L.A. is like they got their Messiah. Oh, he's the missing piece. Oh, Jared Goff was garbage. Now they got a quarterback that can make every throw, and now they got their Messiah to win the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I've watched this guy. Don't act like the Lions were never in the playoffs with him, Chris. Right. They were 0-3 3 times in his 12 years in Detroit. They made the playoffs. And he didn't play that well.
4 touchdowns, 3 picks in his 3 playoff games.
Very good. Pedestrian, mediocre, whatever. Right. That's nothing to write home about. So you're starting to see, and I think people are starting to wise up a little bit, all of his bad fortune in Detroit, Chris, wasn't just about, people tried to make it wasn't him. He didn't have a coach. Well, let me see. Jim Caldwell went to the Super Bowl, didn't he, Chris?
Right.
Was Jim Caldwell a Super Bowl coach, or am I
Jim Caldwell was a good coach.
All right.
He's a good coach, yes.
And Matt went to the playoffs twice with Jim Caldwell.
Yep.
Oh, he didn't have any players. And Ndamukong Suh was a pretty good player. Would you say that on defense?
I'd say so.
Okay. Didn't he win a Super Bowl with Tampa last year? Oh, okay. Calvin Johnson, first ballot Hall of Famer.
He can catch a ball or two.
There you go. So my biggest point to people was, don't think he's the Messiah and he's so great. Peter King and other football guys, you talked about it. Chris, he's going to throw for 6,000 yards. He's going to be the MVP. You remember the Rams started the season 7-1.
Right.
7-1.
Everybody was in love with him.
Matt Stafford, oh, I knew it. He just had to get away from that bad organization, the Lions, and what. And yes, they won the division. They backed into it. Fine, they won it. I'm not going to take it away from them. But Jared Goff, when he was here, also won a couple of divisions as well. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's that much different with this team and offense. And the other thing, too, Chris, they better get their defense figured out as well. Because they couldn't stop the run.
No, they couldn't. And just to put a bow on Stafford, Rob, in his last 4 games, all right, this is how he's heading into the playoffs. 8 interceptions. 8
That's
interceptions
in the last how many?
Last 4.
Ridiculous.
4. In the previous 13, he had 13 interceptions. I'm sorry. In the previous 13, he had 9 interceptions.
Right.
So the first 13 games, he has 9 interceptions. The last 4, he has 8. Not good at all. And look, they got Arizona. Arizona obviously isn't going into the playoffs with his chest poked out. They lost, I think, 4 or 5. I mean, they really look bad. They really
look bad.
Yeah. Yep. But that'll be a good game. Those teams split in the regular season. And we know with Kyler Murray,
Kyler Murray beat them there in L.A., Chris, and they won in the desert, the Rams.
Yep. And it's in L.A., and I don't know if that's a good thing because Arizona is much better on the road.
Yes.
They're 8-1 on the road and worse at home. So I think 3-4 at home. But you brought up something else, the Rams. And look, when I watch them play other teams, I don't feel like they get bullied. But when they play the 49ers, I mean, they get bullied. And I love Aaron Donald as much as anybody. He doesn't get bullied. But that defense as a whole gets bullied.
I agree. 100%.
They get pushed around, Rob. I mean, and that's about the best word I can say, bullied. Because that is when the physical nature of the game is so prominent when these two teams play. It is such a difference in my view. I just feel like San Francisco is like big brothering them up and down the field.
Yeah.
Up and down the field.
As we go forward, going into the playoffs, I know people had high expectations with all the name brands that the Rams brought in and the whole notion. And they wound up getting their, 12 wins. They won the division, Chris. All the things that we thought they would do, right? Coming in. They got it done. But there's some losses along the way that make you just question. Like when the Titans came into L.A., Chris, without Derrick Henry.
Yep.
They got pushed around like a rag doll.
Yep. Another physical team. You're right.
That was a bad sign.
Green Bay beat them.
Right. There's a couple games where you look and go, I don't know. And I don't know.
I mean, what I will give them, they only lost to good teams. Arizona, right. San Francisco, Green Bay, Tennessee, and San Francisco.
Well, but the only problem is those are the teams you face in the playoffs.
Right. Good. Only good teams are in the playoffs. So, look, they got a chance, Rob, to, everything we're saying could be
Oh, no, if they play well or win games, of course.
But Rob, I'm to the point I'd be stunned. I think Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
Where are you on Dallas? Is Dallas better than them or not?
I haven't made my pick yet, but
right.
Well, I'm thinking about going with San Francisco. I haven't made up my mind yet. We'll do that, I guess, Friday or whatever we need to.
Wow.
We'll do. Yeah, I mean, that's how impressed I am with them. I mean, Garoppolo, and I'm a defender of Garoppolo. I think both of us are. Just because, look, he wins, and it's not just like, oh, he's in the right place at the right time. Look at what San Francisco was before he got there 5 years ago.
It was a wasteland. It was a wasteland.
1-10. His 5 years there, they're 31-14 with him. 8-28 without him. And all you that want to say, oh, it's Kyle Shanahan. Oh, it's the defense. Oh, it's the running backs. Well, those same guys are there when Jimmy G's out. Now, there's been times when all of them are injured, or a lot of their top players. But there's also times when those guys are there with another quarterback and it ain't happening. So I think Jimmy G, he's not elite. Don't get me wrong. And I'm fine with their decision if they end up making it next year where they go with Trey Lance and they trade Jimmy G. But, Rob, when it comes down to the clutch time, Jimmy G delivers. He did it a month ago against Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. He did it, last night. The last 2 drives was 8 for 10, 133 yards, a touchdown, like 152 passer rating. I mean, now, and I know everybody points to he missed the pass to Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl. And I was glad because I was pulling for the Chiefs.
Right.
But, Rob, let's keep it real. Even though Jimmy G, nobody's going to confuse him with Aaron Rodgers, they should have won that game.
Yep.
If the defense doesn't give up 3 touchdowns in the last 7-8 minutes, they win with Jimmy G.
And Chris, if the coach would have run the football
right
with
now,
a 10-point lead,
throw it?
Am I right?
Right.
Huh?
No, I was going to say, now it was like all of a sudden he wanted to throw the football.
Right. They were running the ball all game.
Right.
And with less than 10 minutes to go, you want to run the football. You don't want to give Patrick Mahomes 3 cracks at it. He shouldn't even touch the ball 3 times in a second. What are you thinking?
Right.
Grind it out. Eat the clock.
You're right. So I bottom line, Rob, I'm not a believer at this point in the Rams. I mean, they can beat Arizona. That could, I wouldn't be surprised.
It wouldn't even look. If Arizona beat them, it wouldn't even surprise me.
It wouldn't shock me. Yeah,
you could have. I'm going to say right now, Stafford could have 2 bad interceptions and change the game. He could.
Absolutely.
One could be the Arizona gets a pick 6 that could change the entire game, and he's prone to that. Chris, we've seen him with 4 pick 6s this year.
Yep, no doubt. All right,